I hope you never, never, and never forget what I'm about to say right now. If you settle, you will feel always something missing in the inside. A voice inside you tell you that, hey, something missing, something doesn't feel right, something is not in aligned with my true nature. I hope you remember this, because it will be a guideline for you to an exceptional life. You have to listen to this voice. You know that when you settle, deep down inside you don't feel right. You know that there's something missing. And that's it, the voice tell you that, hey, I'm settled. Hey, I need to wake up. Hey, I need to correct the course so that I can be on my way to my greatness. I talked to one of the guys that I recently met, and he told me that he had been with his girlfriend for about 7 months. I asked him that if he's really happy with his girlfriend. He was hesitant about his answer. And then he gave me the answer that, well, she's not the prettiest woman that I ever met, but she's a good person. That's when I know for sure that he's settled. Because when he saw the other woman walking around and they are beautiful, he questioned himself. He like, oh shit, oh that. He want to date other women as well. But he stuck with his girlfriend. And when I asked about his girlfriend, he told me that she's not the prettiest, but she's a good person. What does it tell you? It tells you that his girlfriend is not 100%, it's not 200% what he wanted, but he settled for her. Why? You probably know the answer. Many people settle in the relationship that they not 100% fulfill, 100% happy with. They settle because they afraid of being alone. They are afraid that if they leave this relationship, they will not be able to find anybody else better. And they may be single for a while. And that's the scary part. Nobody wants to be single for a while. And that's why most people settle. Because they don't want to experience pain of being alone. They don't want to experience the discomfort of going out and meeting other women and facing rejection. Nobody wants to experience that. But my handsome friend, that's a part of the journey. That's a part of the success. You have to struggle. You have to experience hard times. You have to go through rejection. So the point I want to say is, when you do something, and if it doesn't feel like a 9 or a 10, or you have to come up with a reason and justify for your decision, that means it's not a 10. That means you settle. That's the side that you settle. So in this example of this guy, if he have to justify for his action, it's telling me that it's not a 9 or a 10. The moment he told me that she's not the prettiest, but she's a good person, that telling me that he have to justify for her beauty. And that means he settled for anything less than a 9 or a 10. And that's the number one sign to show you that you are settling. Whatever you do, and it doesn't make you feel like a 9 or a 10, that means you settle. Just simple like that. Every time you notice yourself that you have to justify for your action, that means that you settle for anything less than 9 or 10. Even worse, less than 5. I've heard it so many times. If this sound familiar to you, like when so many people close to you, your friend, your family members tell you that, oh, beauty doesn't matter. And it's like, oh, you shouldn't care about beauty as long as you're a good person. That's bullshit. When you tell them that, hey, you want the prettiest girl and you want to great, awesome girl, they tell you that, no, you're not realistic. And even yourself, deep down inside of you, there's another voice tell you that, hey, it's not realistic. You have to settle for this person. This is the best that you can get. Even your mind will try to convince you to settle. So you have to be really careful. Remember, what you want is out there. Yes, there's a prettiest girl out there. You can get her. You can have her. As a part of our Fearless Warrior Club, don't you dare settle. What you want is out there. Remember, it's not easy. That is the hardest part. It's not easy. You have to put in a lot of work. And you have to wait maybe for a long time. And my friend, it takes courage to wait that long to be single and to willing to wait for the right person to come into your life. It takes courage. Remember, if it doesn't feel like 9 or 10, that means you settle. If you have to justify for a person you are with, let's say if you are in a relationship with someone and you know that it doesn't feel right, you know that, oh, she not the most beautiful girl I wanted, but hey, she have money, hey, she fun, but hey, she cool, hey, but she know how to cook. If you have to justify for your action like that, that means it's not a 9 or a 10, my friend. And when it's not a 9 or a 10, I know you don't want to hear this. But you have to keep moving on until you find a person that make you feel so excited, make you feel so alive. That's what I'm talking about. When you feel so much alive in the inside, that's when you know that that's a 9 or a 10. That's the indicator telling you that that's the person you should go for. But until then, stop fucking settling. The truth is, many people know that they settle for less than what they want. They settle in a mediocre relationship. They know it. Deep down, they know something missing. They just use their limited logic to justify for their action. And that is the problem with most people. They use the bullshit reason to justify why they settle and why it makes sense to continue to settle. Let's say if you are at the current job that you don't really want it, but you have to justify for it. Well, the job is not what I really wanted. Hey, but at least it pays the bill. Hey, at least I have a security job. Hey, at least I have a great title. At least I know some direction in my life. If you have to justify for it, that means that job is not for you. And you have to change your action to move your life in the right direction of your goals. If you have to justify for the place that you are currently live, hey, it's not great, but at least it's cheap. Hey, it's not great, but it's better than nothing, right? So if you have to justify, I'm not saying that you need to leave your current place and move somewhere else you feel awesome, but at least you need to have an awareness and you need to plan some sort of action so that you can change in the future. But if you realize that the place that you are currently living doesn't make you feel like a 9 or a 10 and you do nothing about it, that's when you settle. The same thing with your health. I know many people keep eating junk food even though they want to improve their health. Every time they eat junk food, they tell themselves that, oh, it's not that bad. At least it's delicious, it's cheap, and it's quick. Let's get the job done. But they do nothing about changing their habit of eating unhealthy. And they continue to do the same thing over and over again without changing any new action. And eventually, they give up and settle for less than what they want. So my handsome friend, the bottom line, the key takeaway that I really want you to carry through this episode is to build an awareness within you. Like when you're doing a 5 or 6 or below, you have to know that. You have to have the awareness. When you do something that it doesn't feel right within yourself, doesn't feel right within with your true nature, you know it. And when you doing something that you have to justify for your action, that means you operate at the level way less than what you want. And you have to change your action. And that's either thing. In order for you to move to the level of 9 or 10 in your life, you have to change your action from 5, 6 to 9 or 10 action. What most people do is when they settle, they continue to do an action that make them feel like 5 or 6. And guess what? When you do 5 or 6 action, you will receive the same result. Your life will never change. And that's why most people are stuck. Because they do nothing but do the same mediocre action. How can you change something if you're doing something over and over again? Albert Einstein once said, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. That is insane to me. And one thing you have to keep in mind is, if when you do something and it feels good, but you know that it doesn't move you in the direction of your goal, it's not a 9 or 10. Because sometimes people confuse that, oh, if I do something comfortable, it must be a 9 or 10. No, if you do something comfortable and if it doesn't move you in the direction of your goal, it is a 3. It's a 5. So for you to know that if you do something that it make you feel like 9 or 10, this is the size. The 9 or 10 action should make you feel excited, make you feel awesome, make you feel alive, should get you fired. But at the same time, it's also scary and maybe uncomfortable at the same time. Because you know that it's uncomfortable because you often don't do it. But when you do it enough times, you will get comfortable with the uncomfortable things. So that's it, my friend. Do you want to live a 9 or a 10, an exceptional life? And I hope you do so, because that's why you listen to this podcast. That's why you listen to this episode, because you want more out of life. You don't settle. Let me tell you this, my friend. It's easy to settle. It's easy to say that, oh, it's hard. Let me just give up. Let me just settle with what I have. It's easy to do that. That's what most people do because it's easy. You know that to get an exceptional life and to go for the life of your dreams is hard. It's almost impossible in most people. But it's impossible because they tell themselves to settle. But if your mind is ready, you are on the right track to your destination. Yes, it's hard, but it's not impossible. Everything is possible if you're ready. The reason I'm telling it's hard so that you don't get discouraged when you struggle, when you face challenges, and in fact actually get excited about that. Because you know that the more action you take, the closer you get to your goals. Remember, it's not all about easy. We're not here for the easy road. We're not here for the fun road. We're here for the exceptional road. We're here for an amazing life. It's an honorable way to live. Remember, it's not about easy. It's not about fun. It's about an honorable way to live. So my beautiful friend, the key takeaway for you is, make sure you have an awareness when you are doing a 5 or 6 or below actions. Once you have that awareness, you need to change that action to 9 or 10. Because the only way that you change your life is when you change your action. If you want result is 9 or 10, your action must be also changed to 9 or 10. Remember that your mind security and limited logic will always try to convince you to settle. So in order to go for 9 or 10, you must let go of the mental justification and go with the vibration of your body. In other words, your intuition, your guts, your true nature, whatever that you call. Deep down inside, you know that. You know when you're doing the 9 or 10, it feels so much peace. You feel so much alive within yourself. And that's what I want for you, my friend. Stop settling and doing the action that make you feel alive. And which is 9 or 10. I hope you enjoy this episode. Let me know what area of your life that you are currently settling right now. I feel guilty of this too. I have been settled so many times in my area, and nobody really tell me, and I just don't know what I should do. I don't know even if I settle because society and this culture telling me it's okay to settle. But when I realized that I can't live like that, I need to go for 9 or 10. I start changing my action, and I hope you do so as well. Changing your action from 5 to 6 to 9 or 10. Never settle for anything less. And until next time, you are a badass action taker. Thank you.